to NSK TV. Today, I'm going to hit Coco on the bottom.
Coco doesn't like that.
Coco's not got a problem with it. Lick me if you're annoyed. She's fine. Right, so, ready for another one, guys?
Yeah.
So what's this one, Mr. Smelly?
No, Mr. Jelly Smelly.
Okay, I've got it. It's Mr. Smelly. Hey there, guys. Welcome back to NSK TV. My name's Craig, and welcome to another story time. Today, we are going to be reading another Mr. Man book. We're going to read Mr. Jelly.
Which is number 15.
Which is number 15, apparently. Thanks for letting me know, right? We've read quite a few of these Mr. Men. We've read quite a few of these Mr. Men books now, so if you want to hear more of them, just look back through YouTube, and we catalogue them all on there. There's playlists. Have a look at the playlists. But today we're going to be reading Mr. Jelly. So I'm here with Ryland and Thea. Say hello, Thea.
Hello.
Say hello, Ryland.
Hello.
We also have Coco here with us. Coco is sleepy.
Hey, hello, Coco.
There you go. Now, let's start the story. Poor Mr. Jelly was frightened of everything and anything. At the slightest little thing, he would quiver and tremble and shake like a jelly. So it's not really it's not really surprising to find that Mr. Jelly lived as far away from anyone as he could find, in the middle of a wood, miles and miles away from anywhere. There's Mr. Jelly's house in the middle of a wood, miles and miles away from anywhere. And this story begins one morning when Mr. Jelly was asleep. It was a beautiful autumn morning. The sun was shining, the leaves on the trees had turned to a glorious red, and the wind stirred gently in the treetops. A single leaf fell gently from the tree right outside Mr. Jelly's house and quietly brushed against his bedroom window as it fell. Mr. Jelly woke with a start. What was that terrible noise? He cried. Oh heavens, the house is falling down. A disaster! It's an earthquake! Oh calamity! It's the end of the world! Oh no, what are we going to do? And he hid under the bedclothes, trembling with fright. He was like this. He was like, oh no, go away. What's happening? Help me. Anyway, there he is in bed, quivering like a jelly. He's very scared.
He's such a maniac.
After an hour, by which time he realised that his house wasn't falling down, there wasn't an earthquake, and the world wasn't coming to an end, Mr. Jelly peeped out from underneath the bedclothes. Thank goodness for that. And he got up, went downstairs to make himself some breakfast. Mr. Jelly poured some cornflakes out of a packet into a bowl. Then he poured milk onto the cornflakes. Then he went to the cupboard to get some sugar. Crackle, crackle, went the cornflakes in the milk. Oh my goodness gracious, oh no, cried Mr. Jelly, diving under the kitchen table. Oh dear, I hear guns. Oh calamity, it's war. Oh no, where were the bad guys? But of course, he was wrong, it wasn't. And of course, Mr. Jelly eventually came out from under the table and he ate his cornflakes. After breakfast, Mr. Jelly thought that he'd go for a walk. There's Mr. Jelly going for a walk. Do you see Thea? There he is.
Yeah. Where's the playground?
I don't think there is a playground in the woods that he's at. Well, he'd go for a walk. He was walking through the woods. Come on, sit properly. Come on. He was walking through the woods which surround his house when a worm poked its head out the ground. Morning, said the worm cheerfully for Mr. Jelly. Mr. Jelly almost jumped out of his skin. What? Who's there? And then he saw the worm. Oh my goodness, it's a snake. Oh dear, it's a man-eating snake. Oh calamity, I'm going to be eaten alive. Somebody help me, a snake is going to be eating me alive. And then he jumped into a tree.
You stupid man.
What a performance, commented the worm and went back into his hole. Didn't know worms could speak, but there you go. After an hour, Mr. Jelly felt brave enough to climb down the tree and continue his walk. Eventually, he came out the other side of the wood and into a field. Mr. Jelly glanced nervously around. It was an empty field. Or was it? There he is, peeking out the trees, looking at the empty field, hoping that there's nobody in it. In the long grass in the middle of the field, unseen by Mr. Jelly, there was a tramp enjoying a sleep in the autumn sunshine. Mr. Jelly picked his way cautiously through the grass. The tramp was fast asleep and was snoring. There he is. What was that? said Mr. Jelly. It's a lion, I heard it growl. Oh, goodness gracious, oh dear me, it's a lion with enormous teeth, a huge lion with teeth that's going to bite me into, a huge ferocious lion with enormous teeth that's going to bite me into, if not 3. It's going to be so scary. And he fainted. Right there, on the spot, he just collapsed. And there he is, fainting. Silly Mr. Jelly. All this commotion awoke the tramp. He yawned, stretched, sat up and saw Mr. Jelly lying on the ground behind him. Oh dear, he said, for he was a kindly tramp. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. He picked up Mr. Jelly and placed him gently in the palm of his hand. Mr. Jelly came to and sat rubbing his eyes. Then he saw the tramp's face looking at him. Oh, disaster, he screamed. Oh, calamity, it's a giant, it's an ogre. Oh, goodness gracious, he's going to eat me for breakfast. My, said the tramp. You're a nervous little chap, are you? What's your name? My name is Mr. Jelly. My name's Mr. Jelly, stammered Mr. Jelly. There he is, talking to the tramp. Very, very scared is Mr. Jelly. I used to be nervous like you, said the tramp, but I learned how not to be. Would you like me to tell you the secret? Mr. Jelly quivered and shook and said, yes, but yes, please. It's very simple, continued the tramp. All you have to do is count to 10, and you'll find that whatever's frightening you isn't quite so frightening after all. And then he set Mr. Jelly down on the grass. Remember, he said to Mr. Jelly, count to 10 and everything will be okay. And off he went. There's the tramp leaving. Say bye.
Bye, bye, bye.
Mr. Jelly thought that would be a very good idea. And if it would be a very good idea if he went home immediately. Back across the field he went. Back through the woods he went. He was walking through the woods when he stepped on a little twig. Snap went the twig. Mr. Jelly jumped twice his own height in terror. Hey, what was that? Oh no, what was that terrible snapping noise? It's a tree falling down that's going to crush me into pieces. Oh, calamity. If it's not a tree, it's going to be a crocodile hiding in the bushes, snapping its teeth. Oh, disaster, it's going to kill me. And then he stopped. He took a deep breath. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, he said. And he saw that what had gone snap was a twig. A silly old twig. Whew, he said. Mr. Jelly had almost reached his house when a leaf drifted gently down from a tree and on top of him. Help! Police! Murder! He screamed. I'm being kidnapped. Oh, calamity. It's ruffians with guns. They're going to... Then he stopped. He took a deep breath. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And he saw that what had fallen on him was only a leaf. Nothing but a leaf. A stupid red leaf. It works, he said out loud in wonderment. Look, there he is, very happy, Mr. Jelly. It works. And do you know, it did work. After that moment, Mr. Jelly became a changed man. Well, you can see that by looking at him, can't you? He never shrieks or shouts or screams or quivers or shakes. No tremors anymore. He never hides under his bedclothes anymore. There he is, looking chilled out. Looking very happy, not quivering at all.
I got chilled out as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it says well. Not very often anyway. And that
What
is the
does it
story.
mean by not very often?
It means he gets scared occasionally, but not very often. And that is the story of Mr. Jelly. Now, remember, we've been reading lots of Mr. Men stories on NSK TV. So make sure that you follow us on Facebook, subscribe to YouTube, because we're going to read all of these at some point. So make sure you follow us. And at 5 o'clock...
52. Are you joking?
Yeah, we'll do it. At 5 o'clock every single day, it's story time.
I'll get another one. There's Mr. Skinny now.
Oh, really? My name's Craig.
My name's Ryland. My name is Thea.
And this is Coco.
And she just woke up, but that's to go back to sleep.
We'll be back again soon. Bye-bye, everybody. See you.